Alright guys, we are doing a daytime live stream because kids went back to school today, so I had the day off. Well, I took the day off so that I could take the girls to school today, and decided to get a lot of chores done here at the house. Got some chores done here at the house and had a little bit of time left over till school lets out, so decided to jump on a live stream. I'm for it. I'm down with it. In any case, some housekeeping things I've got to take care of. I do have the Chris the Dude Nurse Facebook page. If you want to join the Facebook page, here it is. This is the best way to get a hold of me directly. I really don't respond to anything else directly. That's the one that I really sort of respond to. I do have an Instagram as well. It looks like this. The problem with this is I do not respond back directly. I just don't. I don't know. I don't really have a reason why. I just really don't respond back to that one directly. You know, it is what it is. In any case, like I said, today is the very first day of school. Kids went back today, and of course, as every other parent does, I did go ahead and take the pictures of the kids holding the sign up that says, you know, first day of whatever grade it may be. Had to, man. You know, you got to take the pictures of the kids with their first day of whatever grade it is. You know, you can't deny your social medias the pleasure of seeing what grade your kids are going to this year. You just have to. You know, it is what it is. In any case, kids went back to school. Let me see if I can pull those up without giving information away, because I know everybody always likes to see those, and they're like, "Oh, we love to see the kids going back and things like that." So let's see here. Oop, and my phone keeps going off. I got it on silent though. Yeah, can't do it. I just don't know how. I really only know how to do it from my phone. In any case, shoot fire, pulling up stuff. We are here live today on a Monday afternoon. I'm going to give it about an hour because I still got to get things done, you know. Got to pick the kids up from school and things like that. With it being the first day, traffic is terrible because a lot of parents do, like myself, and take their kids back to school, things like that. You know, it's just something that you do. But in any case, I thought about this for a while today, and then let me know if it's just me or if this is just absolutely weird. Like I said, took pictures of the kids, as most parents do. There's a girl that I went to school with, and she married her teacher. We went to school together. This person was not my teacher, but she married her teacher not long after we got out of school. Had pictures with the kids going back to school, and this is, in my opinion, the weirdest, most bizarre thing. And I remember thinking at the time of before they were married, like, I just don't feel like this is right, you know. And I know people are going to say, oh, love is love and things like that, and in most cases I'm going to agree with you. Love is love. I personally just do not feel comfortable with people who are teachers later on marrying their students, and that's what, you know, these individuals did. And I just, every time I see their Facebook posts, I just feel grossed out about it. It could just be me. It could be me. But I'm like, dude, you have kids with your student now. Like, this isn't okay with me. You know, like, at no point in time was anybody's parents like, this is a bad idea. Like, on either side, no one's parents were like, this is a bad idea. They're both adults now. They were both adults when they got married. you know, I don't know when the relationship started, but it's like, you married your teacher. Like, I can't get over this. What's up, Jerry? And it just blows my mind. And today I was reminded of it, you know, because we're all sending pictures of our kids back and forth, and I'm just like, it's gross, man. It's just gross. And I'm in my late 30s. You know, it's like, this is still gross to me. But, you know, it could just be me. In any case, what's up, Jerry? How has the NCLEX gone? I imagine by now you've probably passed it or taken it. At least I hope so. We're running up on the end of August. Shoot. Let me see. Excuse me. Passed 85 questions. That's awesome. Is that perfect? I don't remember if that's perfect or not. I feel like whatever the minimum is, that's where I was at. It could have been 85, could have been 65, but I don't remember. 85 is not bad, because, you know, you have the possibility of 200 and some odd. Ugh, and that's miserable. But glad you passed, dude. Congratulations. Used to be 75. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I remember clicking that next button, because I was on 75, clicking the next button, and it, you know, shut down or whatever. I was like, crap, I failed already. But with the new generation NCLEX, it's 85. They change everything, man. They change everything. 85 questions, but congratulations, passing on you know, a perfect score of 85 if that's the new minimum. Congratulations. How long did it take you? Like, what was the length of time? I feel like those 75 questions took me like 2 hours. Did the Pearson view trick. Nice. Glad it worked for you. It did not work for me. Did not work for me. Got the good pop-up. That's awesome. Yeah, when I did mine, here, let's send some hearts, man. Let's send some hearts for that mess. Yeah, awesome. Got the good pop-up. Took 250 minutes. So 120 is 2 hours. What was the I've been told that the new generation has a lot of select all that applies. Was that accurate? Was it a bunch of select all that applies? Because that's what I've heard it's been. I've heard it's been like a mess load of select all that applies. And not, because when I took it, it was a lot of like scenario-based questions, but it was also scenario-based, but it was A, B, C, D. You know, it was alphabetical, multiple guess, I think is what we called it. Alphabetical guess, multiple guess, whatever it was. But every other question was scenario-based. That's fun. We were scenario based, but like I said, it was still alphabetical guess. It wasn't it wasn't fill in the blank. Which if it was fill in the blank, I'd have failed that mess, especially for spelling, because I am the worst speller, especially of medical terms. I am not good at it at all. I'm precepting somebody at work right now, and they use a bunch of medical terms. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what you're spelling right now. Because I just don't know. Scenario-based, fill in the blanks. Ugh, that's miserable. I am so glad I don't have to retake that Joker. Or at least, you know, knock on wood, I don't have to retake it. At least not right now. That sounds like no fun. Wasn't bad. Do you still have to do the You got to go to like the courthouse, get fingerprinted, and then you got to go to like the sheriff's office and run your background check. And there's like 5 or 6 different places you have to go before you're eligible to take the exam. You still got to do all that. Or that could just be North Carolina too, but I would think it'd be the same for every compact state. Is that still the? Ooh, someone passed at 120. If it took you 250 minutes to do 85, think about how much time that took to do 120 questions. Ugh, that's 55 more questions. Dang, dude. Still got to do the fingerprints. Yeah, okay. I figured you did. I figured they still have to, verify who you are and things like that. Took her the whole time. What is the whole time? I don't think I've ever known what the whole time is. You get 5 hours. So it took this person 5 whole hours. You might as well work a day. 5 hours. That's miserable. I took the very first day that I was able to take my exam was me and Courtney's anniversary, our wedding anniversary, and I took it on our anniversary, and I told her, I was like, you may not see me today, but I took it. It took me, I want to say 2 hours, two and a half hours, something like that, at 75 questions. So. Dang, but 5 hours. So now, what's the next step now? Have you started applying? I imagine if you're anything like myself, I had already gone on interviews before I took the NCLEX, and I had already had a job lined up pending my NCLEX. Have you done all that? Have you started looking for work, or have you already found work? Anything like that? Because, like I said, I had actually started applying like my last semester of school, like a month left of school. I had already started applying. That's what they had told us to do when I was in school. Of course, we had and I didn't want to be the one to break it, but we had 100% pass rate. If you passed my school, you had 100% pass rate of passing the NCLEX. At the time, it may have changed by now. But of course, only 9 of us graduated, so, you've already weeded out the ones who weren't going to pass. To sort of not really try to sound ugly, but, there were so few of us that passed. You might as well, you can say 100% of us passed, but it was 100% of 30% of the class. It's like that Anchorman, what was the name of that? I can't remember. He had that cologne or whatever. 60% of the time it works every time. That's how I feel like nursing school is. Supposed to start today, but they had me come in and do my onboarding last Tuesday at the last minute, so they pushed it back 2 weeks. Kind of annoyed. If anything, they've tried to get you in quicker. I know at work we've tried to, since we've been so short-staffed, we've tried to get people in quicker, and I know that my boss is like, I know you got a 2-week notice, but any way you can do your paperwork now, things like that. So yeah, I don't know why they pushed you back 2 weeks, unless it's some sort of weird pay period thing. I know that Novant, which is local to me, a very large hospital system that's local to me, they have 1 day a month to bring in new hires. And it's a large hospital system, and so they want every single person to do orientation at one time. What's up, Angel? Ex-work husband. Ex-work wife. Only because we no longer work together. Not because we had a nasty divorce. How is the new work going now that you are big brother, boss man? Now you work with no men. You can't have a work husband. Well, I mean, I guess you could. I don't say you can't have a work husband with no men, but you know, I'm gonna let it be right there. Well, what do you call the all-seeing eye? That's what I call the government, Big Brother. A chill boss, whatever. You Big Brother. The man, the G. How is that baby child? I saw that he just had surgery. How's your baby child doing? Your employees love me. They're in there watching right now. Awesome. Well, I used to work with Angel. When I worked with Angel, she was not the boss. And she would always give the excuse, that's above my pay grade. So now, Angel, it's no longer above your pay grade. It is your pay grade. So, you know, there's that going on now. Can't use that no more. Recovery is amazing. Well, that's good. I'm glad he's doing well. Are you still liking your nurse? And no, that is now your pay grade. You are now boss, big brother. The G, you are it. That is your pay grade. Well, good. That is amazing. I'm glad that you still like your nurses. Don't want those real responsibilities, even though I do the work. This is why I always tell people I'm not management material. Because I am not management material. They know not to hire me as the boss. Girls are good. First day of school today. I took the day off as I always do, which you probably remember that. You may or may not remember that. Took the day off to take everyone to school this morning, as I always do every first day of school, just because dad of the year, whatever, just doing my part to raise decent human beings. That's part of it. I mean, I'll be honest, that is a lot of the reason why I keep coming back to work every day, is because I can pick them up from school. Because you cannot beat the hours that you did work and I currently work. Miss y'all, not the work, just the people. Well, that's nice. Sad you had to leave us, but I understand. I do understand you had to leave us. 7-3. I'd miss pickup time. I wouldn't be able to pick everybody up. Now, I worked 6 to 2 at the nursing home. When I did 6 to 2, which was actually about 6 to 4:30, I did not enjoy that. I had the flexibility to work from home. I am not taking my job home. I'm going to keep my work at work. Of course, you did not have that flexibility, last job. That's awesome. That's awesome that you get to leave the building when you want to. Go get you something to eat. Go check on the baby child. Do things like that. It's always a good time. Ugh. Bring your child to work when it's at home. Working Friday, although... Alright, let me read this again. I was working Friday, although I was in Charlotte at the hospital. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you work at the hospital? Let that be. Your mind isn't there. Your mind is, in hospital things. People understand. You got baby children. Comes to work every Thursday. That's awesome. It was a good distraction. I guess if you need a distraction, yeah, I guess it's good. If I'm at the hospital, I'm not thinking about work. Oh, I remember you work at a child development center. I do remembers. I can't think of the name of it right now. I know it's the big one in the city that's south of me that I'm not going to name right now. I know it's like headquartered in the city south of me. I do remember that. They got the yellow signs. Yep. My middle one this year went into an all EC class, so she is in a new building. Cool. But my middle one went into an all EC class this year. We fought really hard to keep her in like regular school, and then this year we were like, I just really, I'm all for pioneers and all for people, being the first ones to do something, but I just don't want my kid to be the one who, has to lay the groundwork for it. So we put her in the EC program this year, where she can be, a lot of attention will be placed on her. So she's in class with, I think there's 3 teachers in her class for like 12 kids. So 1 teacher per 4 children. We just felt more comfortable about that. She will not, unless she like tests herself out of it, she will not be able to graduate with a high school diploma. She'll graduate with a like certificate of completion, something like that. Still in school, still finishing school. So she went to her new school this morning. And it was like, even though we separated the girls this morning, when I took the middle one to her school this morning, it was like she just ran in. She's like, okay, bye, Dad. I'll see you later. And like immediately started playing with. They had like a lineup of larger cop cars and ambulances and fire trucks and things like that. The ones that have the you can push the things on the top. She just ran straight in there and went straight to that. So. Like, all right, well, I guess she's home now. She had a blast. She just ran straight in there. They had like a cart passing out breakfasts. She was like, I want breakfast. I was like, dang, child, you're already at home. No fuss, nothing. Straight in there. It was a good time. She enjoyed it. But the oldest and the youngest, they went to the regular school this morning. Which 2 different schools is going to be. It's easy on days that Courtney does not have to drive a bus. But if Courtney has to drive a bus, it's not going to be easy because I'm going to have to be in 2 different places at the same time. To pick everybody up. So Good times. Yep, she had a good time this morning. Alright, I will talk to you later then. Have fun being big brother. Because you big brother now. You the man. You the all-seeing eye. You're it. Alright. As I try to... There we go. I could do it this way. Let me see if I can make this work. Oh yeah, we can do that. Here are the girls going to school, as they say. I going to school. And there's our wedding pictures in the background. The girls going to school. Having a good time. Nice school pics. Yeah, I had to do the the dad, you know, or the parent. See if I'm pulling back up here. I had to do the pictures holding the sign, first day pre-K, first day second grade, first day fifth grade, and then Courtney has got her teacher shirt on. Wah, wah, wah. Good times. I don't remember my mom doing that, but she was also a single mom who you know, really had no support system, and we rode the bus, so I just don't remember my mom doing that for us. Maybe she did, and I just don't remember it. But good times. I feel like she would wake us up and be like, "Bye guys, I gotta go." What's up, Nathan? Do you think being a male nurse is an advantage or a disadvantage? Depends on exactly what your question is. An advantage or a disadvantage to what? Also, and I have said it before, and I will say it until really things change, patients treat male nurses better than female nurses. I don't know why. I have no idea why. It's almost like the patients are sexist, and it seems like, it's not always, but it seems like every patient is sexist towards the male nurse, because there's, you know, the ratio is what, 97% of nursing is female, so 3% of nursing is male, or at least that's the last figure that I remember looking up. And it's like when patients see a male nurse, they're like, oh, you know, and they all of a sudden treat us better, and I'm not exactly sure why. It's male and female patients. I have no idea why, but it always seems that way. An advantage would be, especially when you're, you know, turning someone, picking up someone, things like that, you know, sort of the manual labor part of it. You know, there's that advantage, of being able to sort of, I'm 6 foot tall. It's a lot easier for me to reach across a bed, than say someone who's 5 foot tall. You know, just build in general, when doing the manual labor part of things, is an advantage. As far as all that goes, you know, it's that. If you're talking about being able to actually do the job, being able to actually be a nurse and the skills needed and things like that. I think it's really person to person. It's not really male or female. There are nurses who are much better at med passes than I am, who are female. There are nurses who are much worse at med passes than I am, who are female. It just depends. Same goes with really any other skill: sterile procedures, sticks, IVs, Foleys. Some nurses are better, some nurses are worse, and it really doesn't matter the gender. So I hope that answered your question. But I don't know why, but for some reason patients just treat male nurses better, and I don't know why. No idea. And I've seen it ever since I got into nursing. 09, 08, no 08, yeah, 09, yeah, 08 or 09, somewhere around in there. So, no idea why. Yeah, man. I will say I did a Friday. Yeah. Anyways, I had some labs to draw. Phlebotomy called me in there, and they were like, "Hey, I can't draw these labs, and the patients are wanting you to do it." And I of course got a successful stick and was able to draw all the labs. And the phlebotomist was like, "Wow, how are you able to do it so quick?" I was like, "Well, I've been doing this job since before you were born, so I have I have experience on my side." I was like, "You were in middle school when I started this position, so I have experience on my side." So I think if there's any advantage or disadvantage, it would probably be age and experience related. Once a nurse reaches a certain age, they're at the prime, at their best, and then once you get too old, you start to get too old, and it happens. You can't move as well as you could. You can't stand on your feet as well as you could. You slow down. And that I think the advantage or disadvantage becomes age related more than it does gender related. Because a new grad and a, let's say, 65-year-old nurse are probably on par. The 65-year-old nurse has a lot of experience, but they've slowed down, whereas the new grad has no experience, but they're pretty quick. Once you get to that 40 to 50-year-old nurse, that's sort of the peak, and then sort of make your way back down on each side, if that makes sense. Not trying to sound ugly towards old people or new grads, but there's a time when you're the absolute best you can be. I feel like it's 40 to 50, that sort of 10-year span. Things start to hurt after a while. You start to, not be able to see as well or do things as well. But, it may just be me. Not trying to sound ugly. Now, I will say, if you want to talk a gender advantage in a healthcare career, I will say a CNA. But let me be a little bit more specific. A CNA who has the size, a male CNA would probably be better, because a lot of what you do as a CNA is lifting and transferring people. But if you are a 5 foot tall male CNA and then you have a 6 foot tall female CNA, then that 6 foot tall female CNA will probably be better, just size related. So maybe that would be your gender difference, but really no other difference than that. Just just a thought. Are you thinking about going into nursing, or have you already started school, or things like that? Oh, I mowed, so my shirt is sticking to me. It's really, really hot outside here. So that's why I keep on shifting around. But definitely, if you're thinking about getting into nursing, I say go for it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with going into nursing. I went into it after losing my job with Chevrolet. Now, what am I trying to do here? Having technical difficulties. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Not what I need. There we go. Alright, close that out. There we go. Now everything's where I want it to be. Let's see, what would be a good... I will say that one advantage to being a female nurse, especially if you want to go into OB, would be the fact that you can go into OB. When I was in nursing school, they did not let me do an OB rotation, even though it was part of our thing. I was the only male in my school. At the time, it wasn't as heard of as it is now for nurses to be in, or male nurses to be in school. And they did not let me do a OB rotation. I ended up doing like case studies and things in the lab. They had just built a lab. Like, we were the first ones. My class was the first class in the lab, and so I sort of had to stay in the lab and do things because they at the time did not have male nurses or male student nurses do a OB rotation. I'm not sure if that's changed or not, but that would be a disadvantage if you want to go into OB. As someone who has seen my 3 children born, I would not want to go into OB. It was cool watching my children be born, but I don't really know that I want to watch other people's children be born. I think it was Jeff Foxworthy that said it's not a magical experience if it's not yours. It's just not. Your own child is one thing. No, I was not upset that I didn't get to do an OB rotation. But could be worse. Let me see, where else? You could go. A lot more male nurses used to go into the more specialized, especially the ICUs, cardiac ICU and neuro ICU and things like that. They went into a lot of the ICU specialties, not just like a med surge. That's where a lot of the male nurses went. I'm not sure why. Maybe chasing the money. Start my first semester of 80 this week. Wanted to get an insight of a male's perspective of nursing. One of 3 out of a 30 student class. All right. That's all right. I was one of 30. I was the only male in my 30 student nursing class. I think it was a total of 90, but it was 3 classes. I was one of 30. I think there wasn't very many total male nurses. Might have been 2 more. Might have been one in each set of 30. But in my group, in my total group of 30, 9 of us graduated. 9 of us graduated, so be mindful of that. One thing I will encourage, and it sort of has to apply to you in your state, which you have to check on your state's laws. One thing that I do encourage is, if you have the ability to challenge the LPN or LVN exam, because here in North Carolina we do. Once you finish, it's like 4 semesters of ADM program, I believe, you can challenge the LPN program or the LVN program. I do encourage people to do that, because I was in school with a lot of people who did not make it past that last semester. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to make it past the last semester or whatever, and they make it to the last semester, past the point of where you could have challenged the LVN or LPN exam, and they don't finish. You know, I encourage people to go ahead and challenge it, go ahead and get themselves ready for it, because worst case scenario, you're not left with, you know, you have nothing to show for it. Worst case scenario. So something to think about if it is even in your state, because you have to have that ability in your state. But you know, something to think about, because like I said, 9 people graduated out of 30 in my class. So nursing school is not easy. It just isn't, and there's no way to really explain how hard it is. There just is not. You know, there's no way to explain how hard it is. You've never taken a test like this before. You know, it's not easy. And Nathan, were you any sort of healthcare field before you went into nursing school? CNA, phlebotomy, pharm tech, anything like that? Because if you were, whatever skill you've had coming into it will help you tremendously in the program. Because I know I was a CNA before I went into school, and that helped a lot, especially in clinicals. And then, you know, there were other pharm techs who had the medications down pat. I was even in school with a CMA, certified medical assistant, and she was like really good at it, just everything, you know, simply because she had worked at the doctor's office for years. But it, you know, it's not easy. It's just not. Ooh, and I'm still getting stuck too. But it's all right. Oops. There we go. When I was in school, I've told this story before. We had this girl. She was from Laos. She was a refugee. She was like a whenever the war breaks out or whatever. Can't think of the name of it, but she was a refugee from Laos. Showed up to school pregnant, like 8 months pregnant, and then we had an exam on like a Thursday. Friday we had regular school, and then Saturday, Sunday, if you had weekend clinicals, you went to your weekend clinicals, and then the next day I think was Labor Day. or the Monday was Labor Day. Anyways, we're in our exam for Thursday. She is visibly in labor. This girl that I was in school with, visibly in labor, has the baby right after the exam. Like, she turns in her exam. She's like, "Can I be excused?" Rolls out, has the baby, misses Friday. Saturday, Sunday, she didn't have clinical because she wasn't a weekend clinical person. I was, but she wasn't. Monday, we had the day off because of, whatever holiday it was. And comes back to school Tuesday, and she was one of the 9 people that finished school. I was like, dang. Girl didn't play, dude. She was just, was not messing around. Graduated with a BS in biomedical science. Couldn't get into med school. Worked as patient transport part-time during undergraduate and decided to pursue nursing. Wow. Biomedical science. BS in biomedical science. That is a big degree there. Couldn't get into med school, so you were going to be a doctor. I wonder, just me thinking, do you have a BS to BSN program anywhere local to you? If you have the time, you have to have several things that play out in your favor. You have to have the time and the ability and, the ability to survive because you got to eat. But there are BS to BSN programs. I wonder if that might be better. But I imagine you sound like an intelligent individual. You've probably looked at those avenues. Or you could do BS to nurse practitioner, which is an actual thing, or PA, depending on what area of the country you're living in. We here don't have the PA or BS to PA thing. We don't have that local to me, so you may not have that local to you either. If you have a degree in biomedical science, you've probably explored other options. And that's your best bet. But dang, that's a degree right there, dude. That's when I'll be like, yeah, I got a BS in biomedical science. That's what's up. So with your BS, you probably know how to take a test as well. Probably not. Probably taking college exams, I assume. These are going to be. Nursing is a little bit different than your college exams. Because your answers may or may not be true. Like every single answer on your nursing exam could be true. I don't have a degree in biomedical science, so I don't know. But it may be the same there as well. For instance, a nursing question could be, let me ask a question about the door behind me. The question will be something like, the door behind me is white, closed, not solid, to a closet. All of them are correct. But you got to figure out the most correct answer, which is not fun. Oftentimes difficult. But it does happen from time to time. But like I said, I did not take biomedical science in 4-year school. I did not belong in 4-year school, to be quite honest with you. That was not, just wasn't college, I don't want to say appropriate. I just wasn't built for college, 4-year college. Community college was definitely my style. just me. Both me and my sister went to 4-year school at the same time, and she is incredibly intelligent, much more smart than myself, much more intelligent than myself, and neither one of us were built for 4-year school, at least not first. I think she graduated, I think she was like 35 when she graduated with her 4-year degree, because we were just not built for 4-year school, at least not as young people. As older people, we were built for, we could probably do it. I could probably do it now. You know, as long as somebody would take care of my kids, I could probably do it. But, you know, it would be hard. But the both of us were not built for college. She didn't even like going to like. Me and my sister went to the same 4-year school, and the events, you know, that you know everybody has a lot of pride in, homecoming and things like that. She didn't even like go. She was like, nope, not going. She actually, during homecoming, she was the only person in the dorm and put a donut in the microwave. Instead of 5 seconds, for whatever reason, she put it in the microwave for 5 minutes and just completely forgot about it. And that joker set on fire, and you know, it didn't burn anything up. You know, it was out pretty quickly. Once she realized what had happened, she put it out pretty quickly. In any case, set the microwave on fire. Of course, smoke comes out and sets the alarm off on the at the dorm. She is the only person in the entire dorm outside during the fire alarm, because she had put the fire out. When the fire department came from homecoming to the dorm. She was the only one out there. They were like, "Oh, do you know what happened?" She's like, "Yeah, I put a donut in the microwave for 5 minutes instead of 5 seconds." She was not going to the prideful things, you know, homecoming things like that. She was like, "Nope, not doing it." But was not built for 4-year school. Off on a tangent there. It was a good time. It was a lot of fun. So much fun. We just weren't built for it. We came up in a time when, like, there was a generation of people sort of in our age where our parents either got to go to school or didn't go to college. And then if you went to college, you automatically had, you know, very, very large careers. And then when me and my sister came up, our mom was like, y'all have to go to school or you're not going to have a career. You have to go to college. And they really, really pushed college on us. And like our generation was just not. There's probably like a 5-year span of people where we're included, me and my sister, and college was just not good. It just wasn't. You know, we had a lot of student debt, and none of us got jobs because 2008 happened. All of us lost our jobs. But of course, if I'd been thinking, I'd probably done a degree that would work. Just wasn't thinking. Should have gone to community college first to begin with. Live and learn. For that reason, I will not push 4-year school on my children. It's not happening. Just wasn't a good time. Excuse me. Ooh, me. But I'm going to go ahead and do a 5-minute warning, about a 4-minute and 30-second warning. I'm going to be heading off of here so that I can get ready to get the girls from school. Because like I said, today is the first day of school. So 5-minute warning, I'm going to head off of here in about 4.5 minutes. Just to let you know, so. Any pressing questions, go ahead and let me know, man. I'm for it. I'm always for the questions. Any questions. There we go. The line to pick the kids up. I don't know if anybody else has kids, but the first day line to pick the kids up at school, like, you're not going anywhere fast. You're really not. You're going to be slow. Don't be in no hurry. Will not be fast today. But let me see what we got going on. Nothing. So since I keep getting text, all because of, things going on right now. Since I have about 2.5 minutes, I always like showing this screen. It's completely unrelated to everything else I've been talking about this entire day. But for whatever reason, I myself love looking at people's YouTube screens, and I love showing my YouTube screen. So I feel like I'm going to go ahead and show it. This is the YouTube analytic screen. Just to show everybody what it looks like. I think these are always the coolest screens ever. Estimated rev. I know. Well, if it'll, there we go. These are my numbers that I make every day, and I don't know why. I just love showing them. I love looking at them. Transparency is always cool. I don't know why. It's always the coolest thing to me to look at these. I have a goal of 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And if I do 4 a day, which I did 2, 2, and 3 for the last few days, so I'm a little bit behind, I'll be able to pick up on it and get it. But I just love looking at those screens. I love looking at other people's screens like that. I think they're the coolest thing. I just do. But show that for the last little couple seconds of the live stream, and the most viewed, and I don't know why, but my most viewed video I'll show you is, for some reason, people watching me roll up and down the windows on my old Caravan with the key. No idea why. But even though this really did start out as a nursing channel, a lot of automotive content and fixing things is what gets viewed. There you can see, like, let's see, 2 videos out of, I think this is a 15 list, are nursing related, and that's it. So I know it's a nursing channel, but it just seems like everything's starting to go towards automotive. And yes, it is cool. It's always cool. In any case, I'm going to head off of here. I've got to go pick up my kids from school. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this live stream on this Monday afternoon. I know it's Monday afternoon and a lot of people are probably at work right now. But thank you guys so much for joining me. Glad to see you guys, and I will be back as soon as possible on a live stream.